Okay, I was getting ready to film something next to that because it looks like something Vikings would use, but then I looked 2 feet to my right and I saw that. Now, if I was going to be a Viking, I would probably go kill him, skin him, and wear his head like a little helmet, but I live in 2022, so I'm gonna upload it as part of my movie review on YouTube.
The Northman is the third theatrical film released by director Robert Eggers, and it focuses on a young boy, Amalith, who at a young age witnesses his father, played by Ethan Hawke, murdered by his dastardly uncle Fjolnir. His uncle also kidnaps his mother, played by Nicole Kidman, and the boy is forced to flee his birth home. He then grows up to be Alexander Skarsguard, and he swears an oath of vengeance to kill his uncle, rescue his mother, and avenge his father. Which really makes sense when you think about it. I mean, if someone killed my father and kidnapped my mother, I would probably also seek vengeance. Only difference is I would probably try to do it in a superhero mask, and I most likely would be dead in about 7 hours. The film also stars Anya Taylor-Joy, who was in a movie called Last Night in Soho, one of my favorite movies of last year, as a young witch seeking to help Amalith in his quest. And the movie also stars Willem Dafoe in a role that was very surprising. And before I say anything else, let me begin with the understatement of the year, and that is, this movie is not for everyone. It is a film steeped in Viking culture, full of throat singing, ancient rituals, tribal dancing, more throat singing. It was a very interesting experience. The best way I can describe this movie is imagine if the movie Gladiator and the movie Midsommar had a rough night in Vegas and they ended up with a baby. That baby would be The Northman. It is a movie that is an enriching experience. I mean, there are moments, images that are seared into my brain, and it is partly because of the director, Robert Eggers. This guy is a powerhouse director. I loved his previous two movies, The Witch and The Lighthouse. This one, although isn't as good as The Witch, it's right under it as my second favorite movie of his. It is one of those experiences that you have to see in a theater. If I can make one plea to you, you need to see this in the biggest screen possible with the best sound system possible in order to enrich and get the best experience. Now that I say it out loud, there are a few striking similarities between the film Gladiator and this movie. The fact that the hero is driven by revenge, Maximus Meridius Decimus, husband to a dead son, father to a dead wife. I don't think that's right. But this movie did surprising me in a lot of ways. To start off, the trailers are a bit misleading. They showed a non-stop war movie full of blood, full of guts, and to be fair, there are a lot of blood and guts, but all of the action comes supplementary to the story, which when you really get down to the meat and bones of it, is a harrowing psychological drama, much in the vein of the director's previous two movies. This is a movie that has cerebral imagery. You don't know if it's real. You don't know if it's magic. And that's my favorite kind of movie magic, when you're not sure exactly what it's supposed to be. A scene will happen, and then afterwards you go, oh, that was a dream. Or wait, or was it magic? Or was it real? You go back and forth, and I love that about this movie. And it helps that this movie boasts a spectacular cast led by Alexander Skarsguard. And this man is a beast. Every scene he's in, he's giving 110%. And you can even tell by the look on his eyes that he is packing this ferocious energy inside of him, constantly angry. He reminds me of when I go to McDonald's and they tell me for the 8th time that the Crunch Wrap is gone. Why did they get rid of the snack wrap? Why did they get rid of this? This is the best menu item they have. Why did they get rid of it? But I digress. In addition to Alexander Skarsgård, you also have Anya Taylor-Joy, who's continuing to be one of the best actresses working today, and Nicole Kidman in the best role she's given in the last 10 years. I never want to spoil anything. I'm not going to give any spoilers. I'm not going to give away where the story heads, but the film sets her character up in one way in the beginning of the film, and by the time you get to the end, it totally flips that concept on its head, and you end up totally being floored. And that really is indicative of the movie overall. And that is, it takes these notions that we've seen in stories like Hamlet, like The Lion King, and it subverts them in a way that ultimately leaves you feeling more satisfied than what would have happened originally. No spoilers again, but this isn't the typical revenge movie, and it analyzes what vengeance really is, who is the one seeking vengeance, and in the end, will it continue to permeate in this endless cycle of violence? I'm not trying to write a dissertation in philosophy, but that's truly how good this movie is. It asks these questions, and it also is exemplified in the film's villain, played by, wait, I got it, Claes Bang. He plays the uncle, and now this is a character that we've seen in constant revenge stories. He's the evil villain who the hero has to slay to get vengeance. But even he is multi-layered, because there are no one-dimensional characters in this movie. Everyone has all these different motivations, and they really do get fleshed out the more the movie goes on. It really blew my mind in the fact that no character in this movie is wasted, and all of these characters feel like people. Isn't that great in a movie? When people don't make stupid decisions and you can just watch these characters be like people? It's great. I wish more movies did that. The movie's not perfect, however. There's a few pacing issues that come up in the second act, and a lot of it comes down to just characters sitting around a farm discussing what's going to happen. The best way I can describe it is, if you ever seen this little-known movie, I don't know if it was really small, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are waiting in the forest talking about the plot. Oh, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do this all right. I got really major camp from Harry Potter vibes in this movie's middle act. A lot of it was just these characters sitting around and going, oh, I'm going to kill this guy, don't you worry. But he doesn't do it, and it's really frustrating. It's something that comes up in all of these action revenge movies that annoys me. You have so many opportunities to kill the bad guy, and you just don't. It reminded me of like the movie Gang of New York. Like DiCaprio, you're literally 2 inches away from the bad guy. Just kill him. And they try to explain it away by citing the Viking code and waiting for the prophecy to spell the right moment. But it honestly felt like they were trying to spread the movie's runtime by like 15 minutes. Again, it's not a major issue, but it was one that certainly had me checking my watch a few times. It's also a little weird how it took 30 years for this guy to actually go on his quest for vengeance. We're told that this is his number one thing in life, is to get revenge, but he had to wait till he was 32, and someone else had to remind him, hey, isn't this the thing you've been trying to do? And he kind of goes like, oh yeah, you're right, I kind of should do that. Like, what were you doing for the other 30 years of your life, dude? But anyway, small quibble. So in conclusion, The Northman boasts spectacularly well done action sequences that are both bloody and visceral in all the most brutal and most perfect ways, a cast that is so good and does these characters justice, and moments towards the end that really do get seared in your brain. It takes so many tropes that we're used to in these old kind of sword and sandal epics, and it flips them on their head in a way that is both cerebral and emotionally cathartic. I'm going to give The Northman an A-. Again, it is not for everyone. In fact, I will tell you, if you don't like weird, out there, olden movies, avoid this thing like the plague. But if you're intrigued to see a true cinematic experience, something that might take you a bit out of your comfort zone, I highly recommend it. It is great. You need to see this on the big screen, and you might not love it, but I can guarantee it, you won't stop thinking about it. That was my review of The Northman. If you like what you see here, please like, comment, and subscribe. There's a lot of exciting things coming on the pipeline for this channel, and I can't wait to show you all of it. And as always, go with Jeff, and you're guaranteed a good win.
So I was looking back at all the footage to edit it together for the video, and I realized I said the word vengeance like 78 times during the course of filming it. If you go back and you take like how about this? It's a drinking game. Every time I say the word vengeance, take a shot. You might be dead by the end of it, but it'll be a fun time.